Two Broke Bettors, presented by Garrett Hollenbach and Dallas Walker.
Hey, everybody. This is Two Broke Bettors. I am Garrett Hollenbach, and this is my co-host, Dallas Walker.
Yo.
This is the betting show where we would like to give you our personal picks. First, we'd like to start out by saying or telling you a little bit about ourselves. I'm Garrett. I'm from Kentucky. I'm a big Kentucky basketball and Kentucky football fan. I think you'll be able to see that, possibly some from my picks. I like to stay unbiased, but sometimes it's not possible. I'm a recent graduate from Middle Tennessee State University. I'm a big gamer. I like to play basketball as well. I'm a former JV basketball and intramural basketball superstar. And after saying that, I'll pass it to my former JV and intramural teammate, Dallas Walker.
Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm Dallas Walker, born in Alabama, raised in Tennessee. I'm an Auburn fan. You won't see that from my picks. I'm super unbiased, unlike my partner. I was a former star point guard for the JV squad and intramural squad. I am a recent graduate of Memphis with a finance degree, so let's make some money.
That about says it all. Let's make some money.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, let's give you a little bit of a rundown of the show and how each episode is going to go. We're planning on doing episodes on Tuesdays and Saturdays. And on Tuesdays, we're planning on focusing on basketball, mostly college basketball, NBA. Maybe once the NFL season starts back over, we'll do Thursday night NFL picks. And then Saturday, we're going to be focusing on just about everything: college basketball, college football, NBA, NFL, not any of the lame sports like baseball or hockey, just the main ones, the main two.
The real ones.
Yeah, just the real sports. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into our picks for tomorrow's college basketball slate. We're going to focus on the top 25 and then throw in a couple unranked matchups that we really like. And then we'll give you our favorites for the Tuesday slate of games. So starting with USC at Stanford. I have UNC minus 4.5. The favorite has won that matchup the last 5 times, and they have covered each time. Neither team's really fundamentally sound whenever I've watched either one. Both really rely on their athleticism and length, and I think USC just has more athleticism and length, which will give them the advantage in this game.
Yeah, I actually had the same thing. I had USC minus 4.5. It's like you said, neither team is that great fundamentally, but Stanford scoring-wise is 8th in the Pac-12, and on the flip side, USC is number 3 in opponent field goal percentage, which is what Stanford's struggling with. So it's kind of perfect. USC is 5-2 against the spread away. And I have written down Isaiah Mobley. He's their best player. He's number 1 in Pac-12 in rebounding. And I think he's going to be the difference between the two teams, especially at a 4.5 spread.
He probably gets it from his brother, Evan Mobley, who is a Cleveland Cavalier superstar.
Hey, they're solid. They're solid. He's good.
He is a good player. Very good rookie compared to some of the other rookies so far.
Yeah, I agree.
Next matchup we have on deck, South Carolina at Tennessee. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Both of these teams are pretty bad at offense. That's why I like South Carolina to cover the 13-point spread. I would be shocked to see either team score 13 points. So 13-point spread is going to be huge for either team, or for either team to really score more than the other team. Personally, I like USC's defense in this matchup. Both have very, very good defenses, coming in at 61 points allowed and 67 points allowed. So I really see a great defensive matchup with South Carolina keeping it close at least less than 13 points.
Yeah, I like that take. I actually, going off of what you said about neither team being able to score the ball, I went with the under 139.5. The South Carolina under is hit in 8 of their 12 spread games. It's hit in 6 of 10 of Tennessee's home games. And like you said, both of these teams are, I think they're 8 and 9 in the SEC in scoring. So I think this total is honestly way too high. I think it could be like under 135, 134.
Okay. Yeah, I think we both expect a very low-scoring matchup in this game. With what I've seen from Tennessee the last couple of weeks, they just really struggle to put the ball in the hole.
I mean, they really do.
They really do.
We know they got the traitor on the team.
They do have
he's
Justin
riding
Powell.
the bench.
They do have Justin Powell.
Yeah.
From Kentucky. Didn't go to Kentucky though. Went to
Dang,
Tennessee.
that boy a double traitor.
He's a double traitor. Mark that down. Justin Powell, double traitor. Next matchup on the Tuesday slate, we've got Kentucky at Vanderbilt. I'm going to try and give my most unbiased pick. That being said, Kentucky -6. That will be my pick. But this all weighs on one big deciding factor. I really love Kentucky -6, and I expect for them to walk away with it early if Severe Wheeler plays. He's day-to-day with a neck injury. He might not seem like a lot. He doesn't score a lot. But he is leading the SEC in assists, and he is the key to the offense running. Last game, we had Ty Washington, who broke the school record with 17 assists, which seemed great, but the offense also looked sloppy at times. Under Severe Wheeler, they really just look smooth. He finds open shooters, gets it to where they want it, and they score pretty effortlessly. I like Kentucky -6 in this matchup if Severe Wheeler is playing. If not, it's going to be close to that 6-point spread. Expect for the spread to jump if he determines that he is playing or not.
Yeah, I didn't have any notes for this one, but it's like you said, and especially if Severe is playing, it's really the game plan versus Vandy is stop Scottie Pippen Jr.
Yeah.
And I mean, if Severe is playing.
That's the other thing I love in this matchup is if he's playing, I like his defense and being pesky enough against Pippen to get a couple more stops. Ty has been sort of weak on the defensive end. Really rather have Severe Wheeler in there guarding Scottie Pippen Jr. Also like Kentucky's depth in this matchup. Kentucky goes about 9 deep with a lot more size and athleticism than Vanderbilt has.
Yeah.
So that's why I have Kentucky -6. Going on to the next game, I have Texas Tech at Baylor. Took Baylor -12. I wrote down for this one, no reason, no stats. Baylor is the best team in college basketball.
Yeah. I like that pick. I went with the over 135. Both of these teams are top 3 in the Big 12 in scoring, which is already a scoring-heavy conference. The Baylor over hits 10 out of 15 of their games, 6 out of 9 at home, and Texas Tech is only 50% away from home, but I think Baylor does a better job at controlling the pace. And Texas Tech does have a really good defense, but that offense for Baylor is ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, I really like James Akinjo and Kendall Brown in this matchup, just taking over against Texas Tech.
Yeah,
just about anybody.
Yeah, Akinjo is solid.
Yes. Next matchup, also in the Big 12, I've got Iowa State at Kansas. I took Iowa State to cover the spread. I think this is too big of a spread for Iowa State. +12 for Iowa State. I looked at their history, excluding, unfortunately, it's the previous 2 seasons. I don't think you can really include those since Iowa State was one of the worst teams in college basketball the last 2 seasons. But excluding those, they have actually fared really well against Kansas in the modern era.
Yeah.
They have split at 5-5 with Kansas's largest margin of victory being 7 points, and Iowa State winning 3 of those games by 12 or more. Kansas is 4-4 against the spread at home, while Iowa State is 3-4 against the spread away from home. So I like all these numbers. I think they really are factoring in that it's at Kansas in this matchup, and that Kansas is coming off a loss, so they might be mad, but I don't think that's going to do a whole lot. I think Iowa State has the length and the guard play to counteract Kansas's guard play in this matchup.
Yeah, it's like we just had the same notes basically. I'm exactly with you on the Iowa State plus 12.5. It's what I had was that their defense is a lot like Texas Tech, so it's like you said, it is a get right spot for Kansas, and then that they could very well win, but it's not going to be by 13 or more points. The defense for Iowa State is just too good for that.
Right. Honestly, I could see this game being very close. Iowa State might win it.
Yeah, I could
Not very
definitely see
big
that
on
too.
Kansas this season. I don't think they've got too many good wins this year. They got the early win over Michigan State, but other than that, haven't seen too much out of them that I like.
Yeah.
Next up, another Big 12 matchup. Gotta love the Big 12. Oklahoma at Texas. I think outside of Baylor, I have not seen much out of the Big 12's top teams, or supposedly top teams that I like.
Definitely not Texas.
Definitely not Texas. They have not won against anyone this year. That's why I will be taking Oklahoma plus 6.5. This is another matchup that has recently been very close. Let's see, Texas's largest margin of victory within the last 6 matchups has been 4 points. So this game has been very close throughout the last few years. That's why I'm going to take Oklahoma plus 6.5. I also like the Groves brothers on Oklahoma and Goldwire playing defense for Oklahoma.
Yeah, I like Goldwire.
Like both of those against Texas. I will also say, as a former Kentucky fan, do not expect much from Devin Askew on Texas. If he gets in the game for more than 5 minutes, expect for Oklahoma to cover the spread and win. Next up, do you have any more about this game before I go?
No, I didn't.
Next up, Illinois at Nebraska. I took Illinois minus 13.5. I know that's a pretty big spread, especially on the road. Illinois has won the last 3 matchups at Nebraska by an average of 12 points. One of the things I love about Illinois is something that they don't have right now, and that's not having Carbello.
I knew that was coming.
I think Carbello is a ball hog and wastes too many possessions for Illinois. So I think with him not expected to play, that adds on about 5 points for Illinois, maybe 10.
Very true. Very true.
And then the real big question is, who's going to stop Kofi Cockburn on Nebraska?
Nobody.
Watching Nebraska a couple times this season, there's no one on that team who's going to stop Kofi Cockburn. There's been teams who've tried, but he's just way too physical, way too big, way too strong around the rim to stop him.
I didn't have any notes up on this, but I will throw out there that Illinois is 9-5 against their over is hitting 9 out of 14 games this year.
Okay.
So just a little stat.
Adding in some stats for you who might be watching. Illinois minus 13.5 and possibly the over.
Hey, they score points.
They score points. That's what they do.
Hey, Kofi can put that ball in the hoop. He plays the game right.
And they score points without Carbello on the court. All right, next matchup, we have Providence at Creighton. This is 2 very inconsistent teams in this matchup. Providence has lost by 32 points to Marquette, and by 18 to Virginia. And this is not Virginia from 3 to 5 years ago. This is Virginia from this year, who is awful. On the other
Didn't they
hand,
have a pretty good game with Georgia this year?
yeah, they lost to Georgia, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure
And
you're right.
they got smoked by North Carolina the other day.
Yeah.
So not much from Virginia this season. Let's see. On the other hand, you've got Creighton, who just lost to Villanova by 21 and lost to Arizona State at home. Both teams are all over the place. And this one, I'm just going to go with the home team. I'm going to go Creighton money line here. I don't feel comfortable with the 3 points. That's why I'm going to go with the money line. Don't have a fair gauge on either team. Feel like they're both about the same tier, so I'm going to go with the home team.
Yeah, I didn't have any notes on this one, but just off the top of my head, Creighton beat Villanova like a month ago, didn't they?
Yeah, so they beat them the first game by like 30, and then followed that up with a 20-point loss to Villanova.
Yeah. I know they beat Marquette in overtime a couple weeks ago. They got Mr. McConnell, aka me from Duke, and they got Baby Nimhard. That's what I know about.
They do have Baby Nimhard and Alex O'Connell.
When I say McConnell.
Yeah.
I like Creighton. I think they're kind of undervalued. So this money line, I kind of like it.
They are definitely undervalued, just inconsistent. That's what I will say.
Yeah.
Going to the next matchup, I know Dallas will like this one. Are you going to be at this game, Auburn at Alabama?
I will be there.
He will be there. So anyone in the Jackson, Tennessee area, his house will be open if you would like to.
Duh.
All right, let's restart that one.
Wait, what are these two teams ranked?
Who, Auburn and Alabama?
Yeah.
Auburn is 4 and Bama is 21.
Wait, hold on. You said Auburn's 4?
Yeah.
Huh.
All right, let's restart this one.
I like that.
All right. And for our last matchup, ranked matchup, we have number 4 Auburn traveling to number 21.
Wait, you said what? You said number 4 Auburn?
We have number 4 Auburn traveling to number 21 Alabama. At first, whenever I was looking at these teams, I thought maybe Alabama, because I remembered a couple years ago, Alabama shot a ridiculous number and percentage from 3 at home compared to on the road. So I actually liked Alabama. And then I looked at it this year. The numbers had very little difference on the road compared to at home. So Auburn has not failed me yet this season whenever I've bet on them. I really like the second best freshman in the SEC, Jabari Smith, is going to be one of the top picks in the NBA draft this next year. I like Auburn here. I'm going to go with plus 1.5, but I could very easily do Auburn money line. The only reason why I'm going to take plus 1.5, I could see Alabama hitting a 3 at the end to win by 1 to take away the money line bet. So that's why I'm going to go Auburn plus 1.5 here.
Yeah, I'm like you. I just did Auburn plus 1.5. I'll give you my unbiased statistics. Okay. Auburn is 11-4 against the spread this year. That's the 7th best in all of college basketball. Alabama, on the other hand, 7-8 against the spread, 4-5 at home. And here's the kicker. Both teams are super good at scoring, super high. I think Alabama is like 1 or 2 and Auburn's 2 or 3. It's one of those. They're right behind each other. And so you wonder, why is Alabama losing? Alabama is number 184 in defensive efficiency, and Auburn is number 15 in that category. Matchup-wise, Quinterly, he's just very decent. Like, he's shooting like 20% from the 3 this year.
Hey, but he can do those jelly layups.
He can do some jelly layups now. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, who are they going to put on Jabari? Keon? Like, that's the only person I could see, and he's pretty good. Yeah, I think Nate Oates should play Gurley a little more, but Alabama is just, they're just really streaky.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, if they get on a roll at their home court, they could very well pull off the upset.
Right.
But I like Auburn 1.5.
Yeah. And one thing I will say, I think we both agreed to stay away from Alabama games whenever we bet because they are very inconsistent. And
Yeah,
if you bet on them, they'll probably shoot 15% from three. If you don't bet on them, they'll probably shoot 80% from three. So,
absolutely.
but on the other hand, Auburn, like you said, 11-4 against the spread this season.
Hey, you know what they say? Defense travels. That number 15 defensive efficiency, I really like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
We both like Auburn here, and our very own Dallas Walker will be at the game.
I will be at the game. You'll probably see me on the court at one point. I know they were wanting to get me out there.
Okay. I think. Hey, I expect it to happen. Going on to our unranked matchups that we like. I took Oklahoma State at West Virginia. I took West Virginia minus 3.5. West Virginia, always tough to beat at West Virginia. Oklahoma State has been bad on the road. They are 1-2 when playing away from home, and their one win is a 1-point overtime victory over Oral Roberts, and not the Oral Roberts team that shocked everyone in the NCAA tournament last year. That team is gone.
Yeah.
You have any input on that?
I don't, but it's like you just said. West Virginia is a tough team to beat.
Yeah.
And with that one major win coming from Oral Roberts, yeah, I like that pick.
Next, I have UMass at Davidson. I took Davidson minus 12. Davidson 11-2 against the spread this season. They're on a 10-game win streak. Not really a whole lot to say other than that. They're really, really good at covering. So I expect Davidson to cover minus 12 at home.
It's really not tough to bet on them either when we just got burnt by UMass. So that makes it just like even better.
That is true. Last game, I took the Fighting Rick Pitino's of Iona at Fairfield. Iona will be playing at Fairfield. I took Iona minus 5.5. Iona has covered in 4 of their last 5, while Fairfield has covered in 1 of their last 5. And minus 5.5, not a very big spread for a team that I think is obviously better than the other team in this scenario. So those are my 3 unranked matchups that I liked. Dallas, would you like to share yours?
Yeah, I just brought 2 to the table.
Okay.
I've got a little sneaky one, Bowling Green in Ohio, over 151.5. That's a big over. But the Ohio over has hit 5 out of 7 games at home. And the Bowling Green over on the season is 9 for 12 and 5-1 away. So it's not really, this really isn't a matchup-based one. It's really a statistics trend with this one. And I can definitely see it happen.
Yeah. Little input from me. Kentucky has played Ohio this season.
That's right.
Ohio hits a lot of threes, and I
Yeah.
remember that matchup being very high scoring.
Yeah.
So I like the pick.
The second one I brought was DePaul versus Marquette.
Okay.
I think both of these teams are kind of similar. They're both pretty solid. I like Shaka Smart. I like Justin Lewis for Marquette. But DePaul is just like a stingy team. They've got they've got some dude with a crazy name, Freedom Liberty or something is his name. Yeah. He is a stud. DePaul is 9-5 against the spread. And like I said, they're just an undervalued team. I think 7.5 is too much. Marquette has played in a bunch of close games this year. And I just like the 7.5.
Personally, I remember DePaul beating Louisville earlier this season. I like them. I like them a lot. All right, now we're going to run through our favorite picks really fast for you. So what I have is I've got UK. Kentucky is one of my favorites. That's if Severe Wheeler plays. I would definitely take Kentucky minus 6 at Vandy. This has been a close series, not really wins and losses, but Vandy normally gives Kentucky a tough game, but that hasn't been the case as of late. I'd say about 3 years ago, that stopped being the case. Kentucky has really taken over in this series. Next, I took Auburn to cover plus 1.5 on the road as one of my favorites. And then all my unranked matchups. I really like West Virginia minus 3.5 at home against Oklahoma State team that does not play well on the road. Took Davidson minus 12. They cover like it's clockwork. And then Iona minus 5.5. It's impossible to bet against Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
Possibly the classiest coach of all time. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely the classiest coach ever.
Hmm.
Okay, and here's Dallas with his favorite picks.
I'm only taking 2 of mine. I like all my picks, but these 2 just really stand out to me. That USC 4.5. Stanford hasn't played since I think the 23rd when they beat Liberty by 3.
Right.
Of course, ending Garrett and mine hopes and dreams because we did have Liberty in that game. But yeah, I like USC 4.5. And then what was the other game I really loved? Oh, that Tennessee South Carolina under. Those teams are just they do not score the basketball.
Especially with double trader Justin Powell out there on the court.
Yeah, especially with double trader. Like he'll probably go 1 for 5, 1 for 20, something like that.
Yeah, I can see it happening.
Those are my 2 favorite picks, though.
Okay. Any of your unranked matchups that you really like?
I like both of them. If I had to go one way, it would be the Bowling Green, Ohio, and those statistics are stupid. And
Yep.
I mean, but it's just a high over, so I didn't love it, but I do like that one a lot.
Okay, and those are our favorite picks. With that being said, this is the end of our first episode. We'll see you on Saturday, and remember to bet responsibly. Remember to follow us on social media at 2 Broke Bettors. That is 2 Broke Bettors on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Dallas is really big on TikTok.
I am.
So with that being said, we'll see you on Saturday with our next video, and let's go make some money.